Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. I got off the foyer. I'm letting Isaac take over my job this morning. I just wanted to video what we're doing here. This is crazy. This is our poorest farm. This was the farm. Cole, if you're watching this, Cole was one of our interns, and this is one of his last jobs. I had him come over here and lop cedars on this ridge. I remember Cole saying, "Boy, that's a poor ridge, Greg. I don't think you'll ever grow any grass there." And you know, I agreed with Cole. It was poor. But wow, what a difference some time makes. Let's see, Cole, you left in, I believe that was 2015. So it's 5 years. We went from broom sedge, cedars, and moss to grass galore. There is so much grass in here, we're having to use a four-wheeler. Otherwise, the bulls will just run through this. We've got, I think there's 65, 70 bulls over there, and we're stripping them. We're just giving them, these strips are probably 200 feet wide by maybe 800 feet long. And it's amazing what they did. I'm going to show you. We'll walk over where we were on and show you the strip we gave them today. We're actually back fencing them today. We were able to do that, and they still had water. But look at that. I mean, Ben and Isaac are, Isaac's having, he's not used to my, you got to watch that reel. The reel he's got on there is one of those old O'Briens, and that thing freewheels. I mean, it'll take off. It doesn't have a clutch on it. So he's getting a good education this morning. That's great. But look at this. I mean, Ben and Isaac's pants from their waist down, and Ben's 6'7", but from his waist clear down to his shoes or his boots, it's solid water. I mean, it's just water. If you will try and walk through that out there, it's up to your waist. You don't believe me? Look at this. I'm 6 foot. I'm 5'10" and a half, 5'11", and look at this. See, it's up here. I think it's up to here. That's my belly button. So it's 4 foot. This grass is 4 foot tall. But look what's in here, folks. This is what's amazing. I've got Timothy. I've got orchard grass. I've got red clover. I've got wild carrot. I've got a little bit of ironweed. There's bluegrass. There's white clover in here. Lesbides is coming. It's down in the canopy. I mean, there's the white clover mixed in with the beautiful, ooh, that's a beautiful one there, isn't it? Red clover. Folks, this is just unbelievable. So we've fed hay on here for 5 years in a row. There's the hay we didn't feed this year. I think we only fed, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 14 and 14. That's 28. Yeah, we fed about 30 bales here with the Greg Judy bale unroller. We unrolled it over these hills. Folks, it was wet. You couldn't have got a tractor in here. I mean, that's how wet it was. You just couldn't have got a tractor in here. And, but if that little four-wheeler you're looking at, the boys are on down there. We hooked onto those 1,200-pound net wrap bales, and we were able to unroll on here. And we left, we'd mudded it pretty good. I mean, but again, we don't have the real heavy animals. You know, our biggest cow is probably 1,100. And we weren't here but maybe 2 weeks. We grazed the stockpile off and we fed the hay on top of that. And, I mean, look at this. This is just unbelievable. I cannot believe the foraging. And the bulls are just doing awesome on this. They're really putting on the weight. And I don't know why they wouldn't be. Look at that. Folks, this is stocker quality finishing. I mean, you could put steers on here and finish it. That's how good this is. I mean, it really is good. And the Timothy, which is the last of our cool season grasses to come up, it's just now coming up. And it doesn't have a seed head on it yet. There it is. But boy, you talk about some beautiful cool season grass. I love Timothy. And we didn't seed it. Folks, everybody keeps asking me, Greg, what do you seed? What do you seed? And I keep saying it. And I know it's hard to find all the videos that I've made and to go back and look, but I'll say it again. Put that one in. They missed that one right there. The only thing we seeded is 4 hooves. So 4 hooves and unrolling carbon, and also good recovery periods between grazings. Once you get your soils healed, folks, it's not like taking hay off. When you take hay off your property, that's called mining your soil, kind of. You're removing a lot of nutrients. And with grazing, you're putting the nutrients right back. It's going through a cow's belly. She poops it out on the ground. The earthworms come in, break that up, dung beetles. It's a natural cycle. It's been happening ever since there's been ruminants roaming the earth. However old you think the world is, that's how long it's been happening. And I tell you, it's been happening a lot longer since they've created Impossible Burgers. This is natural. It's not created in a lab. It doesn't have somebody in a white suit making up your dinner for you. This is natural. This is soil microbes, animals trampling this on the ground, and a good rest period. That's what this is. So the animals eat what they want. They trample it on the ground, which you're going to see here in a minute. If I can fight my way through that forest. I think I'm going to go up here to the top and go across. Because I know there's a foliar path up here. If I try and go across there, I am going to be soaked. So this is 9:30 in the morning. We had a 1/2 inch of rain last night. And I'm telling you what, you can go down here to the creek, which is at the very bottom. That creek is not flowing. Why is it that creek is not flowing? Well, look what's above the creek. Do you think this landscape let loose of the water last night when it fell on it? Absolutely not. So, I'm going to repeat myself again. We don't have a water problem here in the United States. We got a water infiltration problem. We don't have anything covering the soil. You got to cover the soil. You know, you get a 3-inch rain and it all ends up in the Gulf of Mexico. You're not going to grow any corn with that. You're not going to grow any grass. It's gone. And folks, just because they're grazers, continuous grazing, it's hard on the land. Just a little bit better than plowing it. Not much. It is a little bit better. But continuous grazing, where you leave the grass short and you get a 3-inch rain, it's not any good either. You're not holding the rain up on the hills. And I was wrong. I don't have a foliar path in here. I came up from the bottom. I am going to get soaked. Wow. Check this out. I'm in the grass that's not tall. I'm up here by the trees. You walk out there in that paddock. I'll show you my pants when I get up here. And I only went through about 100 feet. Look at that. I mean, that's soaked. It is soaked, just like I jumped in a shower. Here's the path I was looking for. I'm going to go over and show you. My gosh, am I soaked. I'm going to stay in this foliar path. It's just hard to walk through this stuff. So, golly, I got to pick up my feet. I'm going to trip and fall on my face. Now I'm up here in the shade. I want to show you what the bulls are on today and what they were on yesterday. So there's our free choice cafeteria style mineral feeder. So you can see all the different minerals in here. The bulls get to go through there and pick out exactly which one they need. Okay. You got eight holes on each side, so there's 16 minerals in there. And the animals are able to select which mineral they need, and they poop that back out on the land. 85% of the mineral goes in a cow, comes out the other end. And so over time, you call that your traveling laboratory. The animals are moving across the landscape, going to that feeder, picking out the minerals that are not in the soil. So when they eat these plants, that mineral is being drawn up from the plant roots, and over time, you won't have to feed any mineral. I think Ian in Africa, he started out with 20 minerals. He's down to 4 or 5. We're down to about 6 that they eat regularly pretty good. The rest of them, they don't hardly touch anymore. But you need to move your mineral. Keep it away from your water. Our water's down there where the boys are standing at the far end of that paddock. Folks, this is what they were on yesterday. So they were on here 24 hours. And I think there's 70 some head in there now. We've taken some bulls out of there. And look at this. So that's what they're on today. Look at the difference. That. Now, if you had to go buy that much carbon to put on the landscape to get trampled on the ground, it would cost you a fortune. But we're growing it with sunlight, and the animals are doing all the work. So we've got a back fence in here today. We put this wire, in other words, we just rolled it back, let the bulls in, and we rolled it right back behind them, because their water tank is down there where the boys are standing. We're going to go down and look at that in a minute. But look what they did to here. See, this won't get grazed again for probably around 60 days, because now we're getting into June. This is, what is it, May 27th, 28th? And so they ate a lot of it, but they sure trampled a bunch of it on the ground. And people would look at this, and I was one of them, folks. I would look at this and go, you know what? I'm going to leave them bulls in there another day. I'm not making them clean this up. Well, they would. But guess what you did? You just shot yourself in the foot. You just shot yourself in the foot by making them clean it up. First of all, you got all this forage out in front of you that needs to be grazed right now. You're slowing them up right at the wrong time of the year. You're putting pressure on to make them eat stuff that they've already trampled, stepped on, peed on, laid on, pooped on. It's got animal smell on it from their hooves. You're making them go back and clean this up, so their gain's going to go down, their daily gain. And the worst part is, you ate your litter bank. You ate your litter bank. Why'd you do that for? You had it trampled on the ground. There it is. The animals did it. They trampled it on the ground. And then you come along and leave them another day and make them eat it. You made them eat it. Folks, the litter bank is the carbon that they trampled on the ground. This stuff right here. Don't make them eat that. Move them. That's going to grow you more grass. When you get here in July and August, we'll come back to this paddock. It's going to be, well, heck, it's going to be in July before we get back here. I'm going to show you, this is the same location. I'll try and remember to shoot a video above this pond. I'm going to show you what it looks like. All this stuff that these bulls have trampled on the ground, that's going to turn brown. There's going to be a regrowth exploding up through that. Just exploding. And we've got this beautiful mulch layer now covering our landscape, holding the rainwater in right where it fell, keeping the microbes in the soil cool so they continue to work for us. The earthworms cannot heat up, folks. If they heat up, they're gone. They're going to go down 5 feet deep and stop breaking down all this organic material. Keep the earthworms' roof in place, which is their litter, the litter bank. I love this. We got 3 strips out of this. That's how much forage is in here. From that pond in front of us to the tree line behind us, we got 3 strips that go down toward the creek here. And now we're going the other direction. We're going toward this creek. So we're always changing it up. That's what I like about large landscapes. Folks, there's 40 acres here. And we've only got 1 fence that's right down the middle by the creek, separating this in 2. And that allows us to take our poly, which is this stuff over here, the poly braid, right there, and our O'Brien step-in post, and a geared reel. And the boys and I got our weekend done already. Folks, it's 9:30 and we've already taken care of the cow calf. We've done the bulls, and the sheep will be moved tomorrow with their little small bull flock with them, or bull herd. And we're done for the weekend as far as putting in paddocks. We just have to roll up the wire. Oh, everybody says this is too much work. We moved 292 head this morning in about 10 minutes. As long as the time it took was just to go out there and roll the wire up. And we locked them in. We gave a back fence to them too. So we're going to get really good trampling because we didn't let them go back on what they were on yesterday. We'll do that occasionally if it's handy. You don't have to do it, but if it's handy, you will get a better graze and you'll get a better trample. You'll get a much better trample because you've got them locked in a small area, smaller. They're not allowed to go back on what they were on, so you're going to get better manure distribution. And if you've only got one group of trees, today it's cool, I'm not worried about them getting hot. And you don't, if you put this back fence in, you're forcing them to put the manure over there, instead of back up here where that mineral feeder was at, and there's shade up there, and they all go back up there and lay down in that shade, and they'll poop right there. Move them. Keep them off them poop spots. Use the back fence. So this is the pond we built 2 years ago. It's still not full. It's not leaking. It just doesn't have any watershed. But it's a beautiful pond. When that thing does fill up, it's going to be a dandy. But we're already using it. We've got holes drilled in that pipe right there. It's going through the bottom of that dam. We don't have the tire tank installed yet, but we're going to get that done this summer, we hope. There's our rock for our pad down there. But what we did, we just mounted this tank. That's a 400-gallon tank, and we put a quick coupler on it. A plastic quick coupler. I'm going to show you what we did. It's really simple. The bulls they like pushing and mauling stuff around, so we got to protect that rock pile. We've got a poly braid around that rock pile. Otherwise, them bulls will have that thing spread out over 20 feet. And then your rock will just be gone. So what's that? Oh, they're grazing on the mud. Check this out. I was telling the boys this mound right here behind this tank, this is all the mud that came out of that pond. I'm talking there's half acre here of mud. And I remember Johnny, when he got done, he pulled his dozer out there. I said, Johnny, do you think you could kind of scrape that mud out? I mean, we're talking 16 foot, folks. Or 16 foot of mud out there, and it covers 1/8 of an acre right here. Johnny drove his dozer out on it about 12 feet, and it was almost like an earthquake. You could see that old dozer just afloat, and he said, Greg, that's as far as I can go. So he backed out of it, and that was 3 years ago. That's 2017. And now the bulls are walking after grazing it. But folks, that's got sediment from, well, the old fellow that lived here let the cows in the pond for 70 years. So there's 70 years of sediment right there. And we're talking mud. But the forage growing out of that mud is super, super high quality because it's got a lot of, dead fish, manure, urine, topsoil erosion over the years, dead plant material, you name it, it's in there. And those bulls found that, and they've got a big strip here. You just saw the quality of it going up there. Those bulls told us which is the most tastiest forage in this paddock. It's right there. Ben, what do you all think about the grass on this farm? Let me get up here closer so I can get your response.
Gets you wet.
Yeah, it's
what?
It's like you went wading in the pool.
Yeah, I got a first-hand knowledge of that. Look at this. I walked through the grass on, why's the boys so wet? I found out real quick why they're so wet.
Yeah, unbelievable. It is really cool how the species composition in this mud, like former mud area is totally different than up there. Like there's a lot more diversity and variety.
Yes. Yep. Well, ideally it'd be nice to bring a front end loader in here and load all that mud up and spread it over the farm,
yeah.
About 4 inches thick. You talk about a really nice compost that would grow some super, super high quality grass.
Mm-hmm. And that's not saying that's
no
high quality, not high quality up there.
It's
just different.
It's just different. That's right.
There's like 2 layers to it. There's the layer of the like the seed heads, and then right below it, about 6 inches, that's just all clover and
Yes.
timothy and white clover and daisies and all kinds of stuff.
Well, you grabbed a hold the other day and just yanked out a pile with your hand. And what did we count? 7 species in one handful?
Something like that, yeah.
Something crazy like that. Well, that's what those bulls are getting every time they take a mouthful. People, I just had a person comment this morning on YouTube, Greg, aren't you scared of getting bloat with all this clover? Well, most of our clover, we don't have over 40% in our sward. And so they're getting some grasses, they're getting a little bit of weed, they're getting a little bit of other forbs and, you know, legumes with it. But if you get up over 60-70%, be careful. That's when you got to watch turning animals into wet clover in the morning. You're better off to wait till 10 o'clock, 10:30, let that clover dry out, and then if you put them in there, don't leave them in there over 2 or 3 hours and get them out of there. Because you can kill some animals with bloat with extreme heavy populations of especially red clover and white clover. I think white clover is more prone to bloat than red clover is. Guys, y'all want to show off our watering here? Explain a little bit what we did right here.
Yeah, we got your quick coupler that just sticks right into there.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's your male end.
That's the male.
There's a female that just screws into, like, what is it, 3/4 inch threads?
Yep. And what's that plumbed into?
That's into the pond.
Yeah,
okay.
into the pipe
There's a shut off over
there.
Okay, so Ben, when we came on here, I think you reached up there and turned this on. So this has got a cap on it. This is the first thing we plumbed in. Yep. Can we get a picture of it?
You can't see it.
Well, you can't see it. It's underwater.
Yeah, but there's a valve, or there's a little valve down there.
Yep. Folks, the beauty of putting that cap back on there is you don't have a possum. You don't have a critter down there waiting on your hand. Always put your lids back on. And you can ask me how I know if possums go in there. I had to dig one out one night and it was dead for about 2 months. Very unpleasant task. But so yeah, we got a 400-gallon tank, and what kind of valve have we got on here, guys?
It's not a Job, is it? It's a Gallagher.
It's a Gallagher. Yeah.
It's got your float that's tied to a little.
Actually, it's not a Gallagher. I'm sorry. It's a Filmac.
Okay.
Filmac. And what's so neat about the Filmac?
It's free flow. Free
flow. So when animals drink, that thing opens up. It's coming out just about as fast as they can drink it. The little ones that's got the little hole drilled in them that you clamp on the side of your tank here, they aren't worth a flip when you start grazing, 60, 70 animals. They just can't keep up with the water. But that's pretty good water, folks. Look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was really thirsty,
bottom.
Yeah, you can see the bottom of the tank. That's right. What's that wire doing over the top, guys? What did we do that for?
Predator, because otherwise
it's the predator. What do you mean the predator?
As in, like, if we weren't to put it on, then the cattle, if it was hot, they'd come down and they'd start drinking, and then they'd start climbing in it.
What are they going to do when they climb in it?
And then they're just going to start pooping and peeing and.
They wouldn't pee in that water, Ben.
They break up your float too.
They also break your float.
Yeah.
Flip your tank if it got low enough.
Absolutely.
But this is hot, so
if they climb in there, what's going to happen to them?
They'll get shocked. That's for sure.
And standing in a metal tank in water, you think they'll get a shock?
On the nice wet nose. Yeah. And it helps so they don't like push and shove each other too much when they come up to the tank too, because they know it's there, so they're gonna just drink really carefully and move off.
Yep.
It's just easy to put up.
Isaac, what are all those posts doing driven around the tank?
That's for stability. If it were to get to where they could push it around, it's got something to keep
them from rubbing it.
Yep.
If you get 40, there's 70 some animals there, they start pushing that thing down that hillside. What's going to happen to that
just
quick coupler there?
Break that off.
Yep.
End up your tank, put holes in it, and
yep. And you just got a mud mess.
Yeah, because the water's still going to be going out. And
yep.
We also got these too.
Yep. We put some boards down here.
Yeah.
Those are cedar off our sawmill, and that's just something for the animals to stand on.
Yep.
It's muddy. We got a 1/2 inch rain last night. We've had 3.5 the other night, and then another 1.5 inches. We're just getting rain,
Just
and I'm not going to complain. Are you guys going to complain?
No,
Not when it
not at
looks
all.
like this.
Yeah, you got the grass. You got the grass to absorb it, so
Yeah.
it's not like it's washing anything away.
Exactly.
Not hurting anything at all.
I was making the comment up at the top of the hill, guys. We got a half-inch rain last night, and I was down there by the creek a while ago. There's no water running.
It's all just.
It's all
So-
stuck up.
Yes, yes. That's a great problem to have, all your water stuck on your land.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter how much water you get, it's how much you keep. Don't give it to your neighbors. That's one of my quotes. Don't give your water to your neighbors. Be a hog, keep it.
Greedy.
Got to be greedy. Keep it. Folks, I'm going to wind down with that. It's a beautiful day here. We're looking forward to the weekend. We got our paddocks set up this morning. We don't have to set up any more paddocks. We just come in and move the cattle on weekends, and we're going to enjoy our day. So everyone, take care. This is Greg Judy signing off. And on the way out, hit that subscribe button.